Oh, oh, yo, yo, a pirate's life for me. Whoa, guys, welcome to Think About It Reviews, where, we have another Pirates movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead men tell no tales. And you know what? Gotta say, spoiler alert. So, spoiler review. This is a spoiler review of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. And, of course, the story, once again, Johnny Depp. And you know what? We have a couple surprises in this film. But I won't get to that just quite yet. So it's been a very long time since the last Pirates film. I want to say the last Pirates film was what, in 2011, something like that. I mean, these Pirates films seemed, I just went back and watched the second one. These Pirates films seem to be really, it takes their time, and Johnny Depp isn't a young, suave Jack Sparrow as like he used to be. Honestly, I think Johnny Depp was the most drunk in this film that I have ever seen him in any film, or that alone, any other pirate film. He really, he acting drunk. This motherfucker was drunk. Johnny Depp was drunk off his ass, off of rum, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, there's some stories behind the scenes and all that stuff, but yeah, the Jack Sparrow is more drunk in this film. It's more down on his luck, so to speak. It's just not the Jack Sparrow that you're not accustomed to. But he still has his little antics, little things he does. But it was this film. It's very interesting. I think the real question was, do we want another Pirates film? Were we ready for another Pirates film? And for me, I really do enjoy these. I enjoyed the first one a lot. I think the first one's a classic. Rewatching the second one, I had a good time with the second one, honestly. The third one was the weakest one in my opinion, and I can't even remember Stranger Tides. I remember a lot of the hype because it was Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz, which is kind of funny because Javier Bardem is in this film as Salazar. But yeah, I couldn't even remember Stranger Tides, and I just thought that the Blackbeard was miscast. Ian McShane is awesome, but he's not Blackbeard. So going into this film, Salazar, the trailer, Will Turner's son, and Elizabeth Swan's son in here, of course. They have to continue the tradition because Orlando Bloom wasn't going to be in the whole movie, or Keira Knightley wasn't either. But the thing is I did enjoy the film. Okay, let me get that off the bat right now. I did enjoy the film for what it was. I don't think it was the weakest one. I think the third one's the weakest one still. I think it's better than Stranger Tides. I would have to go back to Stranger Tides, but I think I liked it a lot better than Stranger Tides as well. What I really liked about this film was I really appreciate a lot of the action pieces, the little set pieces that they do in this film, and I really love the costuming, the production value that's in these films. It really feels like they really go all out for the pirate's life. For me, the CGI for Johnny Depp de-aging. Once again, Disney knows how to do it. It's creepy, but Disney knows how to do that de-aging things to a T. There was only one moment where I was like, ew, that's kind of creepy, when Johnny Depp actually spoke for the first time when he was de-aged. But they know how to do it. They know what they're doing. I think Johnny Depp, here's the problem with Jack Sparrow. Okay, Jack Sparrow was awesome. We all could agree on that. But the problem with Jack Sparrow, I think what I had a problem with Stranger Tides, is that he can't play off. He needs to play off somebody. He needs to play off with Orlando Bloom, with Keira Knightley. Where these two newcomers, Will Turner's son, I can't even remember his name, and the chick that we meet that's accused of a witch through this film, Johnny Depp just doesn't. They're fine. I think they do a good job of what they're given. I think they're not horrible. I think they hold their own. They hold their own. It's just Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow doesn't like he needs somebody. He needs a little bit of a bigger name. He needs some. He needs that Will Turner. He needs that Elizabeth Swann. So these two newcomers, like, sure they did fine, but there was really nothing to them where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember. I can't even remember their names too much. So, not necessarily the. It just doesn't work, especially Jack Sparrow. Too much Jack Sparrow means you're kind of like over Jack Sparrow. Like, you love Jack Sparrow, but you're just like, there's just too much of him. There's too much. He's more of a bouncing around different scenario, bouncing around, especially doing good interaction with either Orlando Bloom or Keira Knightley or Jeffrey Rush. Barbossa. I think Barbossa was really good in the film as well. Barbossa's always good in the film, and I liked his storyline in here, especially when we get to the ending about him having a daughter, him having a daughter, and that daughter actually being the woman who was accused as a witch. Like, it was actually, Mrs. Barbossa. So, and then that was a cool little line. I like that. I thought, it's ridiculous if you think about it, but I think they executed that really well. So what I really loved about this film was the opening scene, and we did see Will Turner's son going to the Flying Dutchman, and then you see Orlando Bloom, Will Turner just kind of show up and like, you can't come with me, I'm cursed, this and that, and then that's how we talk. That's how we're talking about like the trident, Poseidon's trident, and how it's nobody could find it, and then of course his chick knows where that was the script. I felt was a little bit kind of messy, especially with the trident and the stars and Barbossa and his daughter, but the directors executed it well. The directors executed a lot of scenes well. The shark scene I thought was going to be kind of ridiculous, and it was a little bit too CGI, but it was actually a very entertaining scene as well. I thought that was like I said, the action set pieces were great. Oh, when young Johnny Depp versus Salazar before he became what he is, that was a great scene. That was a great action sequence. The only action sequence where I thought was a little bit way too ridiculous, which these Pirates movies do have action sequences that are way too ridiculous, is the house scene when the bank heist. Johnny Depp's in the vault with the guy's wife, and then these guys with horses have it tied to the vault. And these horses go, but they don't just take the vault, they take the whole damn building, and this building's intact. This building's making like Tokyo Drift turns. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, okay, come on, you guys, come on. We have to have. You're going Fast and the Furious a little bit right here. So it was. I didn't really like that. That was the first real true action sequence too in there. Now, Javier Bardem as Captain El Capitan Salazar. How did he do? How did he fare? He did okay. He did fine. There's some times where I just couldn't understand what the hell he was saying, and he was trying to be a little bit. He was trying too hard to be like this memorable pirate. He wasn't even a pirate. He was a El Capitan villain. He just tried way too hard. And the problem I have also with these films is the curse aspect, and it was too much. His character and the crew. There were too much Flying Dutchmen. There were too much Flying Dutchmen. There were too much Pirates 1 where there were ghosts or like skeletons. Like, there was too much of that. I don't want to see that. I was really appreciated the fact when we saw Salazar, young Salazar, before the curse. I like that. I want to see like somebody who doesn't have a bunch of like crap on their face and everything go against these pirates. It's just like kind of I don't like it. I don't like how too much of the curse aspect to it. I mean, apparently all the curses at sea are now done after they broke the trident, the Poseidon's trident, but we'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that. I mean, because we see the ending. And what I really appreciate about this film, which I went back and I read up, is that people were fighting for it. They now, this is not directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. It's directed by, I believe, two people. I can't remember what they did before. Jerry Bruckheimer is the producer. But what I really appreciate is when I was looking back, because at the end we see Johnny, they get to Poseidon, they break in, it releases all the sea curses, and you see Will's son, having a relationship with the chick who was accused as a witch, horologist, the horologist, so to speak. You see him with her. I mean, I thought that romance was too rushed. I think we needed more scenes with those two together to kind of really make that romance believable. So I thought that romance was just kind of eh. But what I really like is Will finally coming back from sea, finally being able to go on land and be with his son. And I was sitting in the theater and I didn't know anything about it. I was like, okay, so we see Will with his son, but they mentioned the mom. I mean, are we really going to see Keira Knightley? Are we really going to see Elizabeth Swann? And lo and behold, there she was, Elizabeth Swann, coming to embrace Will and her son. Like, I thought that was a nice little moment. And then Jack looking in the far distance, Jack saying, "What an ungodly sight." Thought that was pretty funny. Great. I love that. I love that. I love that indeed. I thought that was a great idea. So they did, after they finished wrapping up filming, they didn't have Keira Knightley on board. They didn't have Keira Knightley doing those scenes. And the test audience who saw the film were like, okay, where's Elizabeth Swann? And they said, you know what, we do need to get Keira Knightley. And they got Keira Knightley to do a couple scenes. And that's what happened. The test audience wanted it. The fans called for it. And we got it. So I thought that was a nice little touching scene. I thought definitely they needed Keira Knightley back, and it worked. The crazy end credit, though. So going back to my point, where all curses of the sea are done because they broke the trident of Poseidon. The end sequence is kind of like Will dreaming a horrible nightmare. What's his name? Davy Jones. Of Davy Jones, we don't see Davy Jones. Like, we just see kind of his claw, and we see like something left underneath the bed. A Will. Like, what the hell does that mean? I mean, Davy Jones, I believe he died in the third one. So how? But then again, like, the Dutchman always needs their captain. They always need a captain. But if the curse is done, like, it's confusing about that ending sequence. I just appreciate the fact that they brought Will and Elizabeth back. I don't know if they're gonna if this movie does great. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to do another Pirates movie. But I think the next Pirates movie, because I see what they were trying to do in this movie. They're really trying to bring a lot like that. Really, that first pirate nostalgia, that first pirate charm. But that's the problem with the film I have with it. There's just no charm. There's no charm. It's really kind of going through the motions, so to speak. There's some good aspects to the movie, but then there's some aspects of the movie where you're not gonna get a true smile to my face, because you got kind of B-listers. Johnny Depp is not his self as he used to be. He's still good as Jack Sparrow, but he's not at his prime anymore. He's Tiger Woods, baby. He's not in his prime anymore. But what you need to bring that charm, to bring another chapter, a true chapter to the Pirates of the Caribbean lore, you need to bring Will Turner and you need to bring Elizabeth Swann back for a full-length film. Now, I don't want to use that for this film, but that was the problem. That was kind of the problem. They did sprinkle it in here, but it just, it fell a little bit flat in that aspect of the charm of the really hurrah, let's go. It just didn't feel like a pirate, like that first Pirates movie, or not even the trilogy, honestly. Except the third one. The third one was kind of But I'm not saying that the two actors that did, who was Will's son and the other girl, Barbossa's daughter, not saying those two weren't good, because they were fine. They were very fine. But I'm just saying that this movie just lacked a little bit of charm. It lacked a little bit of kind of another kind of bigger name, and those big names, other than Jeffrey Rush. I mean, he's awesome, man. As Barbossa, I love him as Barbossa, and his sacrifice, very predictable, very, very predictable. Once you found out that was his daughter, I'm like, Dead man walking, dead man tell no tales. I pretty much knew that he was a dead man, but he did a great job though. That sacrifice was good, great. That was a pretty emotional moment. I got a little bit of I got some emotion in there. I got some emotion in there. Not emotional, but I got some emotion in there. Even though like she kind of barely felt like she's like, oh crap, that was my dad, and there he goes, dead into the ocean. Oh, I had it, and now it's gone. But I like that whole thing. I thought Jack. There was some pretty good comedic moments in here. I thought that there was some good. That always gets me. He's like, I saw her ankles. You would have saw a lot more. I thought that was pretty. It's a funny. It's in the trailers, but I find that really funny. I find Johnny Depp's kind of origin really cool. I really like that. I really did enjoy that. Johnny Depp like kind of like getting the compass and him like outsmarting Salazar. I thought that was pretty dope. However, I just watched the second movie and the continuity and the plot holes, like, boy, are they evident. First of all, he doesn't. In the second movie, he goes to the like kind of like a voodoo lady, right? He goes to the voodoo lady, and in the second one, Dead Man's Chest, he's looking for the key for Davy Jones's heart. He tells the voodoo, like they say, we're looking for this key, and they show her the map of the key, and she looks to Johnny. She's like, how about that compass I, lent you? Is not finding it for you? So basically, she gave him the compass, right? She gave him the compass. But in this film, it showcases that he got the compass from this guy. He got the compass, so that's totally off. And not only that, what was crazy was he gives the compass to, I believe, Elizabeth. He gives the compass to Elizabeth for a moment, pretty much kind of hands it to her, and Elizabeth starts using it, and like, so Javier Bardem his ass should have been gone. His ass should have been, going after Johnny at that point, right? So there's a lot of like head scratchers, a lot of kind of continuity issues. Even like when Bardem was released because of the compass, it was kind of weird. I'm pretty sure Jack kind of like so many times has lost that damn compass. So I didn't really like that aspect of it. There's a lot of just issues with that whole little nitpicking, I guess. It's not even a nitpick. It's true. All right. There's a lot of kind of plot holes when it comes to. Just watch Dead Man's Chest again. Watch Dead Man's Chest, and you will see that there's some plot holes for how Jack got the compass and how Jack, just a lot to see. Hey, Vinicky. How's it going, Vinicky? You gotta watch the film. But yeah, there's some plot holes in there. So, I mean, I did enjoy the film, though, overall. I do believe it is better than the third one. I gotta say it's probably better than Stranger Tides because I can't even really kind of remember Stranger Tides. I remember walking out of Stranger Tides and I was like, it wasn't that great. But this one had some good moments in there, had some good action sequences in there, had some emotional parts, I will say. Got some emotional parts, even though like it just wasn't executed as much as awesome as you liked. I mean, I think the Barbossa scene was executed really well. I think the Will Turner scenes, I mean, the son wasn't very memorable, so it didn't really kind of like hit you as much. Barbossa's daughter didn't really hit you as much. Well, yeah, it did kind of a little bit because of Barbossa himself. I think that works because Barbossa and Jeffrey Rush and how great he was. I think Johnny Depp is okay. I mean, he's always going to be good as Jack Sparrow. I just feel like he just kind of like he was just a lot more drunk on set, and I just would appreciate Johnny kind of, and I honestly do think that, guys. I think that he just honestly was just so drunk on set. Drunker on set. It's crazy. But like Dead Man's Chest, you could see that's a wide-eyed, open, ready to go to work Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, where in this film it's a fucking half closed, eyes closed, about to pass out Johnny Depp every scene and just kind of going through the motions. And it's sad to see, but I mean, even as Captain Jack, like this guy, this is Johnny, man. Johnny needs some help. Johnny needs some help bad, especially if they're going to do another Caribbean movie. If they do another Caribbean movie, I hope they do bring Will Turner, and I hope they bring Elizabeth Swann, because I think that's what's missing about this film is the charm. And I hope if they do bring on a new villain, that he's not covered in a bunch of shit. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of tired of the curses and all that stuff. Just give me a nice, real pirate against pirate battle. I think the first one worked so well because they did have the curse aspect to it, but Barbossa wasn't skeleton all the time, and when they did use the skeletons and the curse, it was done beautifully. But in this time around, I mean, so many pirates movies have come that they overuse the curse and they overuse the CGI. Let's bring it back a little bit. This is Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's do that. Okay, let's bring it to that old school. All right, I love the new. I love that China Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that looks dope. But let's bring it back to Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just saying. So, thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you like and comment below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. I am Dan-a-Man, aka Daniel's son, and thank you guys for listening. And like I always say, grab a tick. Grab a seat. Make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema, guys. Bye.